My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Elden Ring. We have slain the ancient dragon Fortizax and Landzax now as well. We actually can't even wield the claw mark seal yet without 10 faith. Awful. What an awful fate has befallen us. Alright, we can wield it now. And how many of my spells? So we still have Beast Sling. And we're working our way back up to the rest of them. Okay. Now, as for the rest of this, we are looking to go and explore the statue room as well as the ruins on the other end. Still taking any Fulgur Bloom I can. I'll take it for anything except for granted. Looks like there's a body outside of this area up here. Actually, it's also giving me the ability to summon. Are you going to be... So you're just a Black Knife Assassin. And in fact, you have very awkwardly chosen the worst available position to put yourself in. One thing I really should do is back off, get myself some extra stam back up. Get him. Alright, let me actually heal up here rather than just get overconfident and let them kill me. There's the stab attack we've seen them do before. Also, my max HP is decreased as a result of, I imagine, some debuff they tagged me with. Maybe that hit would have done it. This enemy is looking a little bit transparent as well. Get him. No, it might have just been the ends of their cloak there. A black knife. Okay, so we've gotten the Crimson and Cerulean knives from them before, but not a black knife. Black knife, E scales with strength, D with faith, and dex. Has Blade of Death as its ability. Dagger once belonging to one of the assassins who murdered Godwyn the Golden on the Night of the Black Knives. A ritual performed on the oddly misshapen blade imbued it with the power of the stolen Rune of Death. So we know the entire way through which that occurred as well. Unique skill, that is to say, Rani stole the Rune of Death from Malekith and then imbued it into the blades of those knights of the Black Knife. Or the Black Knife Assassins, rather, not really knights. With, imbued with Blade of Death. Unleash the power of the Rune of Death to fire off a blade-like projectile. In addition to dealing immediate damage, it reduces the enemy maximum HP and continues to wear down HP for a while. It deals holy damage. The Rune of Death gave it the ability to deal holy damage. Or maybe it already dealt the holy damage and then it just got afflicted by the Rune of Death. Interesting. Not really what I would have assumed death would be often paired with. Take a couple of materials from exploring here. Yeah, but it's just basically going to be empty. All right, let's go back to the front. See, this way, we deal with the stuff that is less likely and probably going to have a possible boring result. There's blood splatter. Almost as though someone was attempting to get in here and was crushed by the door. Are we going back deep underground? Can't be that deep. Oh, another hero grave. Actually, I will take the time to send that back up. I wouldn't be entirely surprised for one of these to have like a recessed kind of alcove. Once it gets to the very top with an item in or something like that. So I want to give them the chance. The Sainted Hero's Grave. So a hero who's been sainted after the fact. I mean, I can't assume that canonization works exactly the same in this universe as it does in ours. So I don't know if they're going to have to have performed 3 post-mortem miracles or anything like that. Shadow bathes in light and knows weakness. Shadow bathes in light and knows weakness. This might be kind of like a, you know, the old construction of like, and knows, like it is affected by, so shadow in light is weak. Shadow bathes in light and knows weakness for having done so. Let's go down the stone sword path first. Again, usually they terminate very quickly. Oh, speaking of, hello. A Crimson Sea Talisman. Interesting that just you should be here watching over it. Also, you know, with the previous assumption being correct, this would be a frenzied body under here. This seems like such a strange room. Although the frenzied body appears to have been attempting to approach light. Maybe that's what we're meant to take from this. One thing I should almost certainly do is turn a lantern on. And then we picked up the Crimson Seed Medallion. The Erd Tree was once perfect and eternal, and thus it was believed that Erd Tree seeds could not exist. Boost your HP restoration from the Flask of Crimson Tears. I mean, yeah. Can be super neat at certain sacred tier / vigor levels. Right now, it's basically 2 to fill my bar. 1 to get up to a decent amount, and then saving the other one could be useful. Okay. So it looks like we have more of those Hex Summoners near the end. Take the downwards path first as well. Just a golem there, hanging out. Oh, come on! Hang on, missing them. I wouldn't say I'm missing them. Oh. Okay. Deals nothing to us. I should probably just continue the dungeon before I start. Ah, hello. Oh. Oh, yeah. Can I even damage you? Shadow bathes in light. I can't even strike you. Wanna come back this way, bub? Help me finish demonstrating how this works. I love the kind of like Vantablack cutout effect they have. Especially from afar. Hey! Okay, I should also be ready because they will be staggered and worth immediately hitting after they get into the light. Yeah, I'm gonna one-hand this so that I can keep my beast sling available. Oh! Yeah, it's one of y'all. Finish that target off. See if there's anything else under here at all. Because these targets basically have to follow me wherever I go. So as long as they don't end up ridiculously outnumbering me, as soon as I stand within here, I'm basically just safe. Yep. I'm sure some of them have occasional ranged attacks, but I just don't see that making too much of a difference. I guess they're taking their time to kind of teach us the mechanic of this catacomb. Of this hero grave, rather, sorry. There's a divot in the ground ahead. What would make the grounds worn away in that kind of fashion? Leyndell Soldier Ashes we'll also have a look at here. Leyndell Soldier Ashes. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell. Summons the spirit of 2 Leyndell soldiers. Spirits of soldiers each equipped with a spear and a great shield. The soldiers of Leyndell fight their battles defensively. During the Shattering, they were the ramparts that fortified the royal capital. Ah. That'll be why. You, and that one too. Weirdly, I was not prepared to fall. I almost figured maybe it might act like sand and a crab would erupt from it. But I wasn't prepared for this eventuality. At least something very large on the other side of this. Oh, no, I was just hearing the chomp chomps of these guillotine. Okay, so again, there's a situation of riding them up to the right level. Bye-bye. As long as I get within the backstabbing animation as well, basically safe there. Oh, wow, they have so little poise that a roll through them actually staggers them as well. Could legitimately be useful at some point. I'm just going to keep on with the thumping. Seems to be doing okay against these. Those hexes are way less threatening than they would need to be. Because a lot of the time, those enemies seem to be positioned as a kind of like, ah ha ha ha, but you're going to have to deal with the ranger first. And it's like exceptionally easy to dodge their attacks, and even when they hit, they do no damage. Can't wait to get some glovewood for this. Of course there had to be more. Dragon Crest Shield Talisman +1 for boosted physical damage negation. I will quickly check if it does have... Nope. Absolutely no difference in its text. Gonna be incredibly useful though. That's one of my most used talismans. Now I don't really need to use the unupgraded version of it. So this gets us back to... Huh. But wait a second, that makes these all dead ends. Unless I missed... That. Okay, all of that straight. Ah, of course. This was just one of many alternate paths out of this room. Actually, am I going to be able to get up to the right height? I don't know if we can. So, yeah, I don't think I'm meant to try and jump along one of those walls and actually make the way over there. Probably later in the dungeon we come back to that. Oh boy. Never mind. Again, not that threatening. We'll kill the one worth a damn. In the one that had excess souls for its slay. I think largely just to stop them following me. Oh, what the? Again, nothing needed from the top of that. Don't think there will be from the next two either. But it was worth checking whether there was an alcove that was just going to be unassumedly open over there. Ah, here's the height we were looking for. There's a patch over there that's constantly emitting Would they lock me in a boss fight immediately here? Might just be an enemy who hasn't appeared yet. Yep, it is. Get him. I have no time for that one. Gladly, we gave them no time. Oh. Time to go across the top, get the root resin. That room below us, just being the guillotine room we'd passed over a bunch of times. This appears to be a grave warden duelist who is going to require some light to defeat. There he is. Where am I going to get the light from? You'd think an interaction in this room, but I'm not even seeing where it would be cast from. Prattling Pate, let's get to it. Ah, I quite like that one as well. I don't think I'll use that on the bar though. Oh. We take that glove wort. Pass that one. Take this two. Okay. Okay, that was pretty fierce. Basically every single time I immediately tried to roll, he clipped me for it. Where's the light? I don't know if I can lead them far enough to really be able to reveal any weakness. So down and then around. One thing we haven't done is go up. So that ground looks really, really suspect. Oh, walked over it. Never mind. I wonder if maybe here we will find and reveal the light for the other fighting room. Absolutely illusory. No two ways around that one. I'm not backing off. As soon as I back off, you're gonna follow me and kill me. the top of here goes to... Oh. Ah, it goes out to this side of the light revelation room. Can this do anything? Why would I want to be here? Nothing I can really determine, to be honest. Might have just been a nifty way to get another item. Into the dungeon. Okay, more shrouded in dark. One down. Two down. And I'm almost entirely certain I have to climb, which the Grave Warden won't do between where I am and where they are. I guess there's no way I could bait the Grave Warden into the trap there, right? Don't really think so. In fact, I think I'm actually just going to run past all of this as well. Some of them were revealed to the light. That's good enough. Thank you all for meeting me here. This is definitely just going to say too heavy, done, yeah, blocked by some contraption. I mean, destroying illusory walls is the thing that makes the most sense for how I would reveal light to a target that otherwise doesn't seem like they would be able to be affected by it. I think only if I even go closer over there will that nightmare spawn. Nothing in this room looks like it can cast that light. I think this area will count, and then the Grave Warden's immediately up. Yeah, God. As far as I'm concerned, the only solution that I can think of is an illusory wall that contains an area with light. How about? Okay, so holy damage doesn't work either, and it also doesn't work as light to reveal the enemy. Does it have to be a very specific kind of light? Because, I mean, having the lantern on is definitely not going to do it. That area they just walked through looked pretty light, but no, it's definitely going to be similar to all of the rest of these, a full, effectively seal area of light. So I can get you to come here. Will you fall off though? Ah. You have sneakily moved yourself closer. Yep. Yeah, that's absolutely how that one was going to go down. In fact, it looks like there's even another one of them there that still hasn't spawned. Another one of them there that still hasn't spawned. So that one only seems to have triggered its ability to spawn. That is, if there are two, if that's correct. That one seems to have only triggered its ability to spawn after we collect the Grave Warden and bring them back. Which would tend to suggest that the movement of the Grave Warden is intended in this dungeon. Or might be. Going. Geronimo. Thankfully, it's simple as heck. Once we've done it a couple times. Breaking the floor of this is not going to work. Could I rotate this somehow? Doesn't look like there's an entrance to the back side of the top there. Again, we'll pop the lantern back on. So false grounds. Wait, there's no reason. Yeah, they don't let us pull this back down. Okay, cool. So we've dealt with illusory walls, false grounds. I'm assuming what they're putting in the rest of the dungeon might be a bit of a hint as to how the rest of the dungeon after that fact might be solved. Could be wrong, but it's my best guess. I kind of just want to ride this final one off and see. I will say, the alcoves on all the other sides are filled with statues. The alcoves here on the left are not. And I think the ones over the right also aren't. But if I'm honest, I don't think that's relevant. We'll see if the other spawns when we bring the Grave Warden down now. Not that I know what that would even help us trigger, but we do what we can, because we must, for the good of all of us. Except the ones who are dead. Come on. Yep. Of 2 enemies at once. Stop. Okay. One more of them down. You dropped an item as well. It's Ghost Glove, but that's not going to help me. Really? That's what it was? We just go back there and let that respawn? Alright. Come on. Thank you. Here I was worried. Keep on keeping on. Dude's leash range is incredible. What do you mean? This is too far. And... Unfortunately, can't follow up. Remarkable that he swung that over us a couple of times. Somewhere a heavy door is open, so the trigger for that wasn't even a... Huh. So far, we've only seen levers trigger that text in the past. Good to know that it won't necessarily be in the future, though. Phew. We've made it past. What do you got in here? Stake America outside. Some more low-level grave glovewood along the way too. The ancient hero of Zamor. We've versed one of you before. Ah, right. Let's see it. Frost. You are quite mobile. I don't think I'm going to be casting anything on you in this battle, basically. They really do want distance from me wherever possible. Honestly, I suspected I was going to be knocking him out of that. And now they're aggressive. Now they're confident after their buff. Bye-bye. That actually might have purchased us another level, even if they don't have that much enemy field in the way of blood echoes to give us. Ancient Dragon Knight Christoph. Ancient Dragon Knight Christoph. Legendary Ashen Remains. Spirit of Christoph, an honorable knight of Leyndell who was also a devout worshipper of the ancient dragons. His skills strike down foes with thunderbolts, the dragon's weapon of choice. After the first defense of Leyndell, Christoph earned the hero's honor of Erdtree Burial for the feat of capturing Godefroy the Grafted. After the first defense of Leyndell. So, Knight Christoph is the knight who put Godefroy in the Everjail, where we found them. And obviously that's friction between the Golden Lineage and Leyndell there as well. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in this area. Let's bounce. And we have another ruin over here to the right. Ooh. As well as a grave before we get there. Music's picking up as though I'm threatened. Ooh, a lot of the sword memorials here. There we go. No? Ah, okay. I was wondering if maybe we might find some unique knights in and amongst them. I'll just have to settle for an Ash of... Wait, come back. Actually, you might be a Somber Smithing Stone. Ash of War, Lightning Ram. Lightning Ram, skill inspired by tumbling rams. Okay, so this is what we're given from seeing the Lightning Rams earlier. Let out a bleat, then tumble forward, clad in lightning. Tumbles can be repeated in rapid succession, usable on all melee armaments. I kind of want to try that. I wonder if it would be like a really good distance closer for this weapon. I really do want to plunging attack this knight on their horse, but unfortunately they moved a bit further. Wait, is that a short patrol? Are you going to come back? Yeah, we don't need to be this patient. We're stronger than this amount of patience would be required for. Perf. Ooh. Stormcaller Church. And in fact, maybe I've been looking at all of these churches wrong, but that's a different statue. I think every other statue I've seen so far has been a Marika Church statue. Sacred Tears. Don't super well recognize it. I could get some height jumping along the side of it if I needed to, but I don't think there's any reason to. Just got the Sacred Tear. That's it. Cool. Good enough for me. Let's hop back on the horse and remind ourselves as soon as we get to the next site of grace that we have a Sacred Tear to offer. Because we're definitely back in the arena where Sacred Tears are very important again. Especially when my vigor was back on 25 or whatever it previously was. At a certain point, I was already getting a full upgrade anyway. But now, 2 full heals doesn't even necessarily cover the bar. Okay. So we check that area, then we check that area. This is down in the bottom, so I kind of want to check this cliffside. And then going back further up. As soon as I get to Rampart Side Path, I basically know I've done. Spending as much time possibly outside of Leyndell. Wait a second. No, I haven't used that Spring Steel. I do again have the ability to summon someone if I need them. Don't mean to be rude, but you just don't look threatening enough. I don't think I'm required yet. Yeah, 421 from the loot also. There was something I was... Yeah, I dropped here to pick this up from next to you. Silver Pickled Foulfoot. If I ever go to an area where there appear to be a lot of barbarous folk, might just be a good idea then to pop a Silver Pickled Foulfoot. They are for increasing your item discovery for a period of time. And that's all they're for as well. It's not like they can be crafted into anything else, so I might as well get something out of them. It's also probably good, on my part, to pop those when I fight rats. Because rats have a abnormally high drop rate for rune arcs. Just being very stubborn at the moment. Kind of just daring the game to kill me. One more level's worth of runes and we'll have the ability actually to get to the full faith requirement for all of our spells. Ah, we've already picked that up. So probably checked the rest of this area quite effectively. Great. So this should get us back to the rampart side, which will give me the ability immediately to take one of my levels, just cash those in, and pop the sacred tier. Faith. Time. Lost, increase the amount. 9 and 3. Yeah, I've been pretty happy with that. Shouldn't need the Bolt Drake Talisman continually here, though. Faithful's Canvas Talisman raises potency of incantations. I should probably try that at some point, just to see what its effect is. But for the moment, I wonder if I don't get a better effect out of something like a Poise Talisman, or, you know, returning to a useful defensive talisman. Even just the Tree's Favor, I feel like that's a good one to turn on when I haven't got another plan. Okay, so that all goes up to that area. We claim that area. Stormcaller Church and the Sainted Hero's Grave, both complete. Basically, because we did explore that as well. Basically, that just means that this approach up to Leyndell is one of the final things that I have to do in the area, at least that I know of. All right, let's do that then. Starting from the Windmill Village. I do kind of feel like when I go into Leyndell, I might immediately slap everyone around. Maybe bosses, even. Just because I'm not certain the game expects you to 100% as much as you can. Not saying that I've 100%ed everything, right? As much as I think I reasonably can with as little knowledge as I want to go into this kind of game with. Even with, by this point, all of the runes that I've lost across the entirety of the series might account for like 3 levels. 3? Well, let's say 5. But as I keep increasing my own level, they account for even fewer levels. At a certain point, all of the runes I've lost across the entire series still won't even be enough to buy me a level if all of them came back. Ash of War Lightning Slash. I think I've actually already been through that camp. And I think I missed the Lightning Slash at the time, but I didn't mark it, so I'm very glad to have just waddled back through. Looks like there's nothing else to see here anyway. Alright, Leyndell. What's the inner boundary of your borders got in? I only ask because we don't even have to necessarily go into the city just yet. Site of Grace. Hello. There's a lot in the capital outskirts still to do. Although, looking at how open the area is, I'm largely just... oh, right, of course. I'm largely expecting that we're just going to be roaming up and down the battlefield, picking up dropped items. Just someone standing out there in the normal. Like, everyone else is scavenging. Also, that's like an... it's like an Albinoric, like Gostock. The rest of these being more tarnished. Anything in this area? Might as well clear what I'm directly next to. Right. Don't destroy the terrain that they're focused on. They'll have nothing else to focus on but you at that rate. You can see the ridiculous destructive effect of this battle here. And the power of the things that are going to be lobbed at us, I imagine, later. I like that they just haven't filled it with more aggressive enemies. And in fact, it seems to be basically exceptionally low level. There's also a path up there. It doesn't appear to be drawn on the map as stairs. Just a raise. I'll take it. The battlefield feels like it's probably best approached in like a couple of sweeps. Oh. Why do I feel like we're going into a boss arena? Is it because we are? I can see a lot of skeletons reforming. Interesting. What are you? What? But you still die. That seemed to be a Draco Lich, but from the direction of a Lich becoming a dragon rather than the inverse, which is just not how that usually occurs. Alright. Especially because it looks like it might end up having a side of grace. Take our way out through here. Oh, enemies. Yeah, there is a side of grace up there, but enemies have already spawned on the other side. I'm going to completely avoid them. Sneak past, take this side of grace, and rest at it too. For we are at the end of an episode. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Elden Ring. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves. Here is playlist up at the top left. YouTube recommendation down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays at or above the thanked tier. And special thanks to this episode to Nekohime. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves and hopefully see you all next time.